My name is Joshua Benjamin. I'm the founding attorney here at Job Law, and one of the areas of law that we practice and specialize in is immigration law. Immigration law is constantly changing. So by the time you watch this video, there's a likelihood that there has been multiple changes in the law. This makes for a very difficult field of law to practice in, but there are some basics that don't change too often. In this video, my goal is to provide you with a couple of the answers to the frequently asked questions about immigration law in general. Probably the most frequent question I get when it comes to immigration law is, how long will my case take? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The answer is up in the air. It depends. If you're applying for family-based immigration, for example, you could be applying as an immediate relative or as a sister or brother. And just that simple difference, whether you're someone's son or you're someone's brother, could be the difference between an 8-month wait period and a 14-year wait period. If you're applying for asylum, I've had asylum cases who had interviews in the first 3 months, and then I had asylum cases who've taken 4 or 5 years to get to that part. Immigration takes a long time. Whether it's the quickest process or the longest process, you can expect a good amount of time. Now, if you know what forms you're filing, you can always check the USCIS processing times. I'll leave the link in the bio, but make sure that you check it often. As a result of all the different changes in law that happen all the time, the processing time changes. And unfortunately, it usually gets longer, but if for some reason you think your case has taken too long, feel free to reach out and we can take a look at it. Another frequent question I get is, how much is my case gonna cost? I'm gonna break down the fees for you. First, you have your legal fees. And those are the fees that are gonna go to a lawyer to represent you. Those are separate than your filing fees. If you're looking for filing fees, you can find them online just by going to the USCIS website and clicking the link for the filing fee schedule. You could see all the different fees for all the different forms, and you add up the forms that you're using, and that's how you find out your filing fee. Those filing fees are almost always not included in the legal fees. Finally, you have postage and all those other miscellaneous fees. But as far as legal fees go, if you're looking for an attorney, I often get asked, how do I know what a fair price is? My answer is simple. For my clients, for potential clients, and for people who aren't even interested in getting a lawyer, check multiple attorneys, talk to multiple attorneys. You're not gonna find another lawyer who tells you that. My goal is to help. And so if you come to me and I'm the best fit for your case, it'll be my pleasure to help. But I am also realistic. There's a lot of cases that we don't take on, even in the immigration field. Whether you work with us or you work with someone else, my opinion on costs are the same. Talk to multiple lawyers. At Job Law, we work off an hourly rate. What that means is you pay an initial minimum fee, and then if we put in more hours than originally expected, you'll have to pay again. There are some law firms that still do flat rates, but flat rates very much are a thing of the past. And oftentimes when you get a lawyer who works flat rate, you'll find that they lose motivation once they spend your money. So me personally, I suggest working with an attorney who has an hourly rate, because you know you'll be getting value for every minute that they work. But I highly suggest talk to many lawyers. And if you're curious about immigration lawyers in the area, we have a very good referral network. We can talk to you about your case and then send you to a few other lawyers so you can start your journey immigrating to this country. This leads me to my next question. Do I need a lawyer? Now, immigration law is different. There are many situations where you really don't need an attorney. And if you are an immigrant, you likely have an immigrant community where there is some random guy who isn't an attorney who helps people for money. It may be less money than an attorney, but they'll help you with your immigration case. Now, there are cases where you don't need a lawyer. Very, very basic cases, you probably don't need a lawyer. But if you are in a position where you need help, I highly suggest you don't go to someone who isn't certified to work in this field. Those people who are saying, hey, we'll help you out, if they can do it, it means you can do it. And if you can't do it, it likely means they can't either. So bring it to an attorney. Let an attorney look over your case. If we think that we can help you, we'll make an offer on the case. If that offer works for you, you can sign up and we'll do our best to get you the results you need. If you don't have a case, we'll tell you. Or if you can do it yourself, we'll tell you. At the end of the day, talk to a bunch of lawyers. If you need a lawyer, go to a lawyer. If you don't need a lawyer, don't go to a random uncle or auntie in the community who's been doing immigration law for 5-6 years. They might be able to help you, but immigration law changes every week. So talk to a professional, not just an auntie. This question is very important. Oftentimes I get undocumented immigrants who come to me in fear and ask me, what do I do if I don't have any status and I'm not eligible for any immigration benefit? My number one answer is lay low. Talk to a lawyer to make sure that you have no benefit available to you. When I find a potential client with no available benefit, I make sure to send them their rights. Just because you're an undocumented immigrant does not mean you do not have rights, and that is a very common misconception. During the Trump administration, there were a ton of raids, and so we sent people little cards that said, if ICE visits you, this is what you do. Those are still made available, so if you need them, you can check them out on the website or on the link below, but at the end of the day, know your rights as an undocumented immigrant, lay low, and talk to a lawyer to make sure that there's nothing available for you. Finally, we often get asked whether or not we offer free consultations. The answer is sometimes. We do want to help as many people as we can. And so on Tuesdays, we try to do as many free consultations as we can. However, with immigration law, oftentimes the issue is extremely complex. It requires either an in-depth review of an application or the presence of a specialist. So we do offer consultations at my hourly rate. That's $350 an hour. If you're curious about it, if you think you have a case, give me a call. At the end of the day, if you can't afford the $350, we work with you. My goal is to help. Immigration and immigrating into this country is not cheap, and we get that. So we do try to offer free consultations. And we also try to offer as much value as we can on this YouTube channel. So if you thought this video provided you with value, make sure you hit that like button. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already so that you can stay up to date with all the legal content that we post. If you think you have a case, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can call or text us at 856-477-3261. And if you do have a case, it'll be my absolute pleasure to help you. If you don't, it'll be my pleasure to point you in the right direction.